This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. Erica, what day is today?
It's Friday.
That's right, November 15th. I'm here with Stephanie, Brandon, and Erica.
How about that voice?
I'm Jeff.
How about that voice?
It's a beautiful Friday.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful voice.
Gotta let them know.
Brandon's still vying to be my manager.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
You're
right.
Brandon Jur. Come on now, we rehearsed this.
Well, speaking of managers, have I got a story for you guys. Taylor Swift came out swinging and the battle lines have been drawn. She's putting her former record label on blast, saying they're blocking her from performing her own songs at the American Music Awards. And famous friends like Selena Gomez and Halsey are publicly supporting her on social media, but not Justin Bieber. Scooter Braun represents him, and Taylor Swift has beef with him, in case you guys didn't know. The Biebs Instagram a screenshot of the TMZ article saying she's free to play all of her hits. That was a shot at Taylor. Meantime, Big Machine Records says Taylor's allegations are not true, and they're shocked at what she's been saying. What's really going on here, Erica? Because no one goes against the Biebs.
Well, you know what? I know the Biebs is your boy. You might want to tell your boy that what goes around comes around, because the same thing could possibly happen to him. You have an artist. This is, to me, is very simple. You have an artist who built their record or built their musical library. Taylor Swift came up through YouTube. She has an entire library. That library didn't belong to her. That's the reason why she made the moves that she made. But then her masters were sold to someone who she has felt has been her adversary. My number one question in all of this, since everyone keeps saying she's allowed to play her music, is if it wasn't a shady deal, why was Taylor not given the opportunity to buy what she should have been the first person to be given the opportunity to buy? Her music was sold, the masters, in a private sale. Now they're coming back and saying, well, you're allowed to play it. It sounds like they want to own more than the masters. It sounds like they want to be the master, and I have a major problem with that.
Oh, Erica is like fired
She's
up.
fired. And just not to correct you, because I don't want to get in the way of that tornado, but it was MySpace, not YouTube.
Okay, MySpace.
Which is crazier.
But yeah.
Yeah, my only thing with this, Erica, is her statement, which she came out with earlier. I don't know if it was today, yesterday, when she was like, "Oh, I'm not going to be some little girl and be back down and all," because then that crosses, that draws a line in the stand, and it makes it seem like you're either team female, because she's trying to use it like she's a victim, like, oh, I'm not going to be back, be backing down like some little girl, or your team, or you have to go with the label on this one. There are tons of artists out there who have been messed over by labels, but she's not advocating for them. She's just advocating for herself.
Well, yeah, because charity starts at home, honey.
I understand that.
You can't go out fixing things for other people if you haven't fixed what's right underneath your roof.
I understand that, but
it's surprising
why try and play the victim?
It's surprising to me that you would call her the victim when she was perfectly able to purchase that for herself. That was a deal done in order to control her. You are in a situation where you're trying to come up, you're trying to have your own things, you're coining your Brandonisms. Imagine somebody decides that they're going to go ahead, take all of your intellectual and creative property, and then when they're ready to get rid of it, as opposed to offering you, hey, Brandon, you had a major come up, you can write me a check for $1 million right now. You get all of everything that belongs to you. They say, no, there's somebody you've had beef with. We're going to go behind your back, sell this in a private deal, and not give you the opportunity. So from now on, you have to say yes, sir, no, sir, to some dude that you have beef with.
Yeah, but instead of playing the victim and trying to
you
be
still
making
think that's
between
a victim?
guy and girls,
Be
I'm not
very
going to go to
careful.
social media.
Be
I'm
very
gonna
careful,
grab a
my
legal
dear.
team. You
Be
have
very
to grab a legal
careful.
team.
Yeah,
if
she
you
has
got
her
money,
legal
if you got
team.
money to purchase your
Be
own
very careful,
catalog,
my
you
dear.
have money for
Be
your
very
own
careful.
representation.
Brandon,
I shall.
Sometimes you got to get it in.
To get it out.
But then if you can't get it out, you got to get it in.
No, that's a Brandonism.
Not anymore.
But not anymore. I own it.
Okay, then we're just gonna see each other in court.
But I
Judge
rightfully
Judy,
own it.
or whatever
but that's
we gotta
the thing.
go.
You're missing the point. it was a legal deal. She has her attorneys involved. But the fact of the matter is, these men are saying you are allowed to with something that she created. You don't have a problem with that?
I do have a problem
man
with that.
telling this woman, oh, well, I bought
There's
you.
other artists, and there's other artists that have done the same thing.
It's not about other artists. It's about the fact that she could have
Can we get like a bell or something
She
going in
could
here or
have
something?
purchased
I know,
it. And they didn't give her the
just let it
opportunity
go.
to, so that they can control her.
I get it.
In the middle of this Me Too
Yeah.
Time's Up,
Oh,
all
did
of
you hear
that,
the
I have a
bell?
major problem with that. And it actually disgusts me that you don't. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Erica, what day is today?
It's Friday.
I'm letting you out your contract right now.
All right, break it up. Lizzo's food rant is getting her in trouble. Let's get mad about this. Raquel, what's going on?
Here's something new, Jeff. Lizzo is being sued by the Postmates driver she called out on social media to her millions of followers. Back in September, Lizzo posted a picture of Tiffany Wells claiming she had stolen her food. It wasn't the case. In fact, the woman had gone above and beyond to try to reach Lizzo to give her delivery, but she could not reach the singer. Tiffany claims she's been threatened and fears for her safety, and she's also had to quit her job because of the Lizzo incident. She's now suing for defamation and emotional distress. Lizzo has publicly apologized.
Thank you so much, Raquel. How you guys feel about this one? Because I'm on the fence about this one.
Oh, I feel like this is a really tough one because, I mean, I'm a bit on the fence because I feel like this poor woman has been publicly shamed by someone who's got a lot of followers. And I mean, I don't know whether or not that should never be okay. It could cost her a job, but I don't think she has any right to charge exuberant, crazy amounts of money because she would have never earned that anyway in that role. And let's be honest, if she was like, I don't know, I'm trying to think, prime minister or some job where it's like a really high pay, then yeah, of course she should be entitled to that money back. But I'm just thinking, given the job role and what she's trying to go for, I don't think it's not equal. I think sometimes people see a celebrity and try and sue because of the name and they think they can get all the money. And I'm not okay with
That's what I'm kind of leaning more that way.
I would be leaning that way if Lizzo was just like, hey, she just tweeted it out, no picture, no anything. Hey, my Postmates driver stole my food, stole that. When you put
that's
someone's
different.
picture out there, and now you got these crazy people out there who are Lizzoites and all that stuff that are going to threaten you and all that. Yes, I want some sort of money out of this.
Yeah,
if
but
I'm her.
people call me out on social media. They make fun of me on social media. Why can't I sue them? If you go to a restaurant, you're a critic. In the New York Times, you have hundreds of thousands of readers, and you blast a restaurant. Why can't the restaurant sue you?
But that's like a whole organization rather than one individual person.
One person might own it. If you go to my buddy's restaurant and he owns it, you're putting him on blast.
No,
if you put his restaurant on blast.
It's different than saying, hey, he cooked my steak too bloody. That's a difference between that and putting your face out there and saying, hey, your buddy stole my money or something like that.
Well, first of all, you're talking about a Postmates order. How much could the Postmates order?
This is what I was
But why
trying to say.
put
It's not that big of a
like
deal. She did it. She did the wrong thing. She tweeted probably while under the influence. Didn't think about it. We've all been there. And you think that it's funny or you think that it's not that big of a deal. And she threw it out there. Then she came back and she was like, man, I really messed up. I'm truly sorry. Probably tried to make some amends, but to come back with a $500,000 lawsuit, like people always want to have a come up on somebody else's hard-earned dreams, hopes and dreams. So now this girl Tiffany, which is the most like generic name in the world. I mean, it's a very popular name.
Yeah, but that's not
generic.
a popular
It's not a
face.
bad name. It's just a very popular.
We wouldn't have known her face if Lizzo didn't screenshot her.
If Tiffany walked
It's
in right
Friday,
now, you
y'all.
would not know Tiffany if
After
she was
seeing
standing.
that picture,
If she was
I'd be
sitting
like, oh,
on
that's
your
Tiffany.
lap.
That's the girl Lizzo
No, you
put out
would
there.
not.
That's
You
the girl
absolutely
Lizzo.
would not. I used to wear a wig on this show. I would go across the street to the Starbucks and people wouldn't even recognize me, okay? And they had DBL on the screen. So no, it is not okay to sue somebody for $500,000. Tiffany, we don't know who Tiffany
As
is.
soon as you started doing that, they'd be like, oh, you're Erica. Oh.
Yeah, well then.
Wow.
But not just walking in like it's Tiffany. We don't know.
Friday, Erica.
It's fine.
Wow.
She's ready.
Just saying.
It's Friday.
It is Friday. All right. Let's get one more story and see if we can
Round
get Erica
three, baby.
fired up.
Round three.
We all know
Erica's in
singer
the lead
Ariana
right
Grande isn't afraid of new ink. You remember when she tatted Japanese barbecue finger to her palm? You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the singer is back under the needle. She posted this on her social media. It looks like the tattoo reads, Toulouse?
Toulouse.
Okay, which is her dog's name, but it also looks like she covered her wrist even more, adding leaves and a small Saturn there. I'm trying to look.
Those are
palms, okay.
not
We're all
leaves.
looking at our hands and the tattoos, but let's just go back to that first picture. Is no one commenting on the amount of filler she's had in those lips?
Ooh.
What's going on there? What is that?
Ooh.
Yeah,
We already know she's got tattoos on her hands, and I've just seen this picture. Like, what's happened to that
She
girl's
does look
lips?
like she got stung by a bee.
She
She looks as though she's been attacked in
I'm
the
not even
face.
lying.
I'm staying out of that. I'm all about body positivity.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, that looks extreme, no?
It does. I'm with you,
Are you
Steph.
laughing?
I feel like she looks like she's been stung by a bee to the face.
She
And we're
kinda
all
does.
wondering what the next Japanese symbol on her hand says. I'm more worried about what's going on there.
I don't know. There it is. There's barbecue.
That was meant to mean something else, and it turned out saying Japanese barbecue, you know.
Barbecue finger.
You win some, you lose some, don't you?
All right, we lost
My
the heat,
motto in
Steph. We
life.
can't keep up with these two.
No,
just
we
went like
can't.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I'm just bothered about the Botox and the fillers, let's be it.
And they got some inside stuff going on. Did I say something?
Brandon say he's all about body positivity.
I'm so happy it's Friday, everybody. DBL is live, and coming up, some Frozen fans are dying for Elsa to come out of the closet. But is the world ready for a gay Disney character? We're sharing your DBL take. And is Harry having trouble sleeping? What's with that sheep sweater? Get it? Counting sheep? Nobody. What do we think? Is this chic or weak? Stephanie Jones will let us know next in Fashion Picks Friday.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
And we guarantee on DBL, we're never going to hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Let's get right to it.
Welcome back to DBL. Celine Dion is proving that age is just a number when it comes to style. And I'm feeling merry about a sweater worn by Harry. All this fashion news must mean it's time for Fashion Fix Friday. Kicking this week off is Celine Dion. She looked red hot, literally, at the Tonight Show. But if this red suit looks familiar, that's because it's straight from the runway. So this is supermodel Gigi Hadid rocking it for the Tom Ford fashion show. So viewers at home, learn from Celine. If you see a young chap wearing something you fancy, just go for it. Who says new trends are only for the young and restless? She looks a babe. It's my favourite part. Is a celebrity's outfit chic or weak? Let's meet this week's sorry suspect. It's only bloody Harry Styles. He's in New York to host SNL and stepped out in quite the sheepish sweater. This jumper, in my opinion, is 100% chic. It doesn't get more British than this. So of course, I love it. I mean, it's literally a nod to Princess Diana. However, the price tag on this lamb-loving outfit has made me feel not so royal. Yeah, I found out it cost $1,100. You could bloody buy a flock of sheep, pay your granny to knit it for you for half the price. Yikes, not chic, I'm telling you. And now, for something so bizarre, it's made me say, what the fashion? You know, the loops that you find on the shoulders of jackets, have you ever wondered if they had a purpose? Probably not, because let's be honest, we've all got better things to worry about. But thanks to Twitter, we've got an answer. They're not just a waste of fabric, it's to carry your purses and bags. Okay, let's be real. Life is hard enough. You've got a million things to do when you leave the house. So you're really going to undo this strange shoulder strap device, attach your bag to your upper arm, then walk along to the car. Oh no, wait, let's undo it again and repeat the process another 100 times throughout the day. I mean, who are we kidding? This never took off and it never will. Just like Fetch, it's never going to happen. So, what do you lot think? Apparently, Brandon uses this to put his hats in his coat.
Yeah, you put your hat in it. Like you take your hat off, your beanie off, and then you put the strap, and then you snap it in, and it stays there when you're coat check. You guys
What do
don't
you
coat check?
what?
Coat check.
No.
So you know the strap right there on the side
What
of the
jackets
jacket.
you have with that on there?
I think I have one here today. Yeah.
I guarantee no one else in the world does this. It just looks atrocious, doesn't it?
one of
What's
a
the point
kind.
in getting a nice Mac or a Burberry trench to ruin it with some tat that was on your head or your arm?
Yeah, you put your toque in your loop?
Yeah, when you go to coat check when you're at the club.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if I'm buying that. We're getting this. We gotta go. Thanks, Steph. Good job. Coming up on DBL, there's a lot of social media speculation about Elsa's sexuality in Frozen, but is the world ready for a gay Disney character? Your comments about it coming up next. Welcome back to DBL. Frozen 2 comes out next Friday, but will Elsa? There's been a ton of speculation online about the Disney Queen's sexual orientation. In the first movie, she was a feminist, an outsider, and didn't have a boyfriend. Disney, however, has never addressed the issue, so we want your DBL take. Are we ready for a gay Disney character? Let's get right to their comments. Steph.
Okay, well, Mariana says, slowly but surely, Disney eventually creates characters who reflect the times. It's going to happen at some point, so might as well be a character in Frozen 2. I'll be honest, I don't really think that whether Elsa is gay or not has got anything at all to do with this story. I think it's all about women empowerment and her being herself. Just because that some people are saying she's an outsider and doesn't have a boyfriend means she's gay. Do we realise how crazy that sounds? But you know what? I don't think it should be an issue either. Disney should have a character like this to portray everyone.
Okay, Kate says, I think she disagrees with you. She says, no, don't do that to young eyes. Let them learn when they are older. The only thing about that, Kate, is they've probably seen maybe an aunt kissing her friend by then, and they're kind of confused, or they're listening to their parents make some sort of remarks, homophobic remarks about people of the LGBTQ plus community. So I like the way that Disney is going to be introducing these characters, or Sesame Street, all these cartoons, because it's an everyday thing in life. I don't understand why we're trying to shield these children.
Or maybe they just know because they already know that they're gay, because it's like kind of a thing, you were born this way. Okay, so Janice says, I always say representation matters. A lot of audiences may not think it's time for an LGBTQ character, but when is the right time? Janice, unfortunately for some people, it will never be the right time. When you ask are you ready for it, they're not ready for a lot of things, including catching up with the way that life is. The truth is, a lot of children already know that they have friends or they themselves are LGBTQ. They may not be able to articulate it the way that adults can, but trust me, they're telling you every day.
There you go. Gino says, why does Elsa have to have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Can't she just be happy by herself? Gino, good point. I mean, we got it all. I don't think you need to bring sexuality into this, or maybe you do. I don't think we're far off from having a gay character, a cartoon to represent somebody, whether it be Sesame Street. I think, was Bert and Ernie gay? That's a word on the street.
Back in
that was a word on the street.
yeah.
But I don't think we're far off from cartoons having this, or even being a Disney movie. So until then, I don't mind not having any sexual orientation. Just let the movies be the movies. Yeah.
Erin says, OMG, she's a cartoon. I have nothing against LGBTQ, but I don't think it's relevant in any way to the plot. I agree, Erin. I think if the storyline was to take that path, then absolutely fine. But in this, if you actually watch the movie, this is all about two sisters, their journey together, and all about like family and empowerment. It's got nothing to do with love and romance. It's a completely different topic.
Am I getting the wrong movie? Doesn't she try to get with that prince, but he's like playing a trick on her? Isn't it Frozen?
Not that I know of.
Oh, well, I've got the wrong movie. We'll talk about it at the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Stephanie, you have some comments for us?
I do. Let's have a little look what you lot are saying, shall we? Well, Lundeen, new name, never heard of that one before. After watching those first stories, DBL should call it Feisty Friday.
Ooh. I like it.
There
It
we
was
go.
a little feisty in here.
I know, it got a bit hot and saucy, didn't it?
You started a week off feisty, and you guys ended it real
They ended
feisty.
it.
I ended it on the right side of history.
And I ended it because we got to go.
And now we got to end it. We'll see you guys Monday.